Good morning, everyone. It's the beginning of a new week of streaming. It's a shorter one, but it's going to be an exciting one, featuring the debut of Mortal Kombat 1 on my streams today, plus a whole lot more stuff. We'll talk about what I did on my day off and some changes coming to the streams and more on today's Level 1 podcast. Alrighty, welcome back. Today is Saturday, the 19th of August, 2023, which I like to call Mortal Saturday. Doesn't really roll off the tongue, does it? They used to say Mortal Monday, which used to be the day that typically Mortal Kombat would release. They would kind of release it on a Monday. In particular, during the 1990s when Mortal Kombat hit consoles for the very first time, they heavily advertised it as Mortal Monday. But, you know, being that it's Saturday, it's not exactly as, what's the alliteration, I believe they say? It doesn't sound too good, does it? But I'm back today. Today is, you know, the beta of Mortal Kombat 1. It's been going on since yesterday, so a lot of people have been playing it for an entire day already. So, of course, I'll probably be behind. It's all good. In this case, jumping into Mortal Kombat 1 for me is more of a, gee, let's see what they did this time. Let's enjoy the graphics. Let's look at the characters. Let's see how the game plays. This is not, oh, let me try to very quickly learn this game at a high level and start being competitive. That's not the point of me playing the Mortal Kombat 1 beta in any way, shape, or form. You know, this is not a Street Fighter for me, right? So that's okay. You know, I like Mortal Kombat. I grew up playing Mortal Kombat in the 90s along with other fighting games in the arcades. And although Street Fighter was always my primary focus, Mortal Kombat was very prominent back in the day in American arcades, all the way through Ultimate Mortal Kombat 3. And that's when it started to fall off, because Mortal Kombat 4 was not well received in arcades like the first three were. And after that, they stopped putting them out as arcade games as they adapted more to just home console versions and less competition, right? So, I like Mortal Kombat. I've played the last three. When they rebooted Mortal Kombat for Mortal Kombat 9 back in, what was it, like 2010, I want to say? Was it 2010, 2011? So you're talking over a decade ago. They restarted the whole franchise, and it was very successful. It was right along the time, almost right in the coattails of the big resurgence of fighting games of Street Fighter 4. So it did very well back then. And, you know, Mortal Kombat has had a great fan base and a competitive nature to it, although admittedly, when you actually take a look at how Mortal Kombat fares competitively with Street Fighter or other fighting game franchises, it seems to follow a certain pattern. The game releases, there's tons of hype. A lot of people buy it and play it. It has a tournament scene for about a year, and then it pretty much fizzles out, and within about a year to year and a half, it almost completely disappears from competitive circuits, although you will still see like a side tournament every once in a while at a major event. It's not really a huge competitive deal outside of usually the first year or two of the game's release. I don't know why that is. I don't know if people just feel like it's not as solid of a competitive game as other fighting games. Because, you know, every year you get installments of Street Fighter or Tekken or, you know, whatever the latest version of a Guilty Gear or a Blaze Blue or whatever it is. And let's be honest, definitely Smash Brothers, right? So there you go. Yeah, and I don't know, for some reason Mortal Kombat just doesn't seem to have that competitive lasting power. It certainly has pretty good graphics, great story. In fact, Mortal Kombat usually has better story elements than any other fighting game. It has a great story mode that takes you into the lore of the game, and you kind of get hooked for, anywhere from 5 to 8 hours usually. And then it also has great offline content. Up till now, the last 3 versions have had what's called the Crypt, which is a mode where you're wandering this world and doing all kinds of side challenges and fun exploration and things, and you unlock a bunch of optional content for those who don't care that much about the online play. So the Mortal Kombat franchise has always had a ton of content, and I think that's why a lot of people like it. You don't have to be competitive to enjoy Mortal Kombat. While you could argue, until Street Fighter 6, unless you were into competitive Street Fighter, it was very hard to enjoy it because there was really nothing else to do in the game but play it competitively. Now, Street Fighter 6, it finally has a new mode with World Tour that kind of gives more attention to those who don't care about playing it online. But Mortal Kombat's always been there, right? So I'm excited. I want to see what it is, all right? So let's talk about this beta. It came out yesterday for those who have pre-ordered the game. And it's running all the way through Monday morning. Now, because of my schedule and the variety nature of my streams, I certainly didn't want to play it nonstop all weekend. And then because of scheduling issues, I couldn't even be here yesterday regardless. So, I have 2 days essentially to play it. And we did talk about that. And basically, the way you guys, when we talked it out, is that you want to see a lot of it, but you don't necessarily want to see it all weekend. So we're going to be doing Mortal Kombat 1 all day today, both streams. All right, and I'm excited for that. First stream, hopefully there's like a tutorial or something to teach me the basics again, because it's been a while since I played Mortal Kombat. And if there's any new additional gameplay elements, like I know the cameo fighters is like the big new thing in this one that, I don't really know how they're implemented. So hopefully to learn that. And then jumping in, and I'm assuming that it's mostly online play. I don't know if there's actually any offline gameplay or if it's just all online play or not. I guess we'll have to see. I think there's like, what did they say, 6 or 7 characters available in this beta, which is pretty good. And of course, most of them are classic characters that I know. Now, there are going to be characters that apparently are returning from previous Mortal Kombat games that I never played. I only played Mortal Kombat 1 through 4, and then I only played 9 through 11. So anything in that middle time frame of the 2000s, I don't know any of those characters. So I guess we'll see. All right. We'll see how it goes. And it should be exciting, interesting today. I will be playing it again tomorrow as the daytime stream. So there's 3 streams of the Mortal Kombat 1 beta. And then we get back to variety until the game comes out, which is mid-September. Is it September 18th? It's like middle of September, like right in the middle. So, and yes, I'll be playing it, of course, at launch. I'll be doing the story, whatever offline content there is, and I'll be playing it online as well. And, of course, a big question is, well, Phil, will you play Mortal Kombat 1 like you've been playing Street Fighter 6 the last 2.5 months? What gives? And the answer is, I don't know. I'm going to play it and see if I like it. Is it something that I'm going to enjoy? Is it something that I won't like as much? I don't know till I actually play it and test it, right? Today is a good part of that. Tomorrow will be part of that. And then when it finally comes out in mid-September, and if I play it and I'm really immersed in it and I'm enjoying the gameplay engine and the competitive nature and I want to get better and I invest more time in it, there you go. Or it might be like I usually typically would cover a fighting game where I'll play it for a couple of weeks. We'll do online sessions. We'll try various characters and see who's who. And then after that, you did all the single player content and you played it online for a while and then we kind of retire it. It's really up to the viewers, but up to me as well, because if I'm not liking it, I'm not going to keep playing it. And if you're not liking it, I'm also not going to keep playing it. Street Fighter 6 is definitely something I've done a major focus on in the last 2.5 months, and I've absolutely enjoyed investing the amount of time and effort I've put into it to get back to a competitive level in a modern fighting game, which I have not been in so long. Like, seriously, I couldn't tell you the last time that I was actually, like, trying to get good at a modern fighting game, and now I've legitimately done it. I've actually gotten decent at Street Fighter 6. So, I don't know if I'll do that in Mortal Kombat 1 or not, all right? But I'm excited. I bought the game to get into this beta, by the way. It's not an open beta. It's not like anyone can just play it. You had to buy the game fully in order to get it. So it's Mortal Saturday and a Mortal Kombat weekend here on DSP Gaming. By the way, did I even mention that today is August 19th, 2023? I think I got ahead of myself talking about Mortal Kombat because I was so excited. All right. So here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to talk about my day off. All right? That's a usual segment here when I come back from my break. Then we're going to go through the schedule. This week is a only 5-day streaming week. So much shorter than last week, which was a freaking 8-day streaming week. For good reason. Got to kind of make up for last week in some way. And, because I was here so long in that last week, now we got to try to readjust to have my day off back to a normal day and stuff like that. So this week is a shorter week. Then next week we try to readjust and it becomes kind of a normal week again, as you'll see. But we'll talk about that in a moment. I do have a announcement to make. It's not a ginormous stream-changing announcement, but it is an announcement nonetheless, which I'll be announcing a little later on the show. And it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a nice, chill podcast before we jump into Mortal Kombat 1 for the very first time. All right? Before we get to any of that, what I would like to remind everybody is that I am a independent, crowd-funded individual. I do not have sponsorships or partnerships. I'm not getting paid to play Mortal Kombat 1 today. All right? I don't get paid to play anything. I don't. I don't have any kind of a agreement behind the scenes with the company. There's no product placements on my streams or paid ad segments. This is all 100% genuine content that I put out for you guys. It's curated content because it's definitely for a certain kind of audience. And I want to say thank you to those who finance it, essentially, so I can keep doing it. Because if it weren't for your daily support on my streams, if it weren't for your support in other means, like I have a Patreon and things like that, I would not be able to keep doing this for a living. But here I am, 15 years strong, still able to do content creation, which is my passion, for a living. I'm very happy that I can still do it thanks to all of you. So today, if you're enjoying the streams and you're really having a good time and you say, man, I like this, I want to see this continue, there's many ways you can support my streams. First of all, liking this stream and engaging, leaving comments. Now keep in mind, when I'm playing this game, if I'm playing it online against people, I'm not going to be able to talk with you. I'm going to be focusing on the game. But I'll do my best to interact and talk with you guys between the matches and so forth. If you want to go above and beyond just the standard interaction, you can do a super chat or a super sticker. Great ways to support via the stream live, and I'll shout those out when they happen. A super thanks is also available on on-demand videos. If you're watching these videos after the fact on demand, that's a way to say thanks on a video in a comment. A membership or a gifted membership. All right? So right now, we're at 482 members. Yes, once again, we dipped below 500. This is like the 7th time in the last week. I'm not kidding you. We keep having people say, wow, this is great. Let's rally. Let's get Phil above 500 members. And then a bunch more from last month expire, and we're back below 500 again. So it is what it is. It's been like this the last week, okay? I want to say thank you to those who become a member or gifted memberships to the channel in the last week. Your help is very much appreciated. Now, today, with Mortal Kombat 1 all day long, we're likely going to have more eyes on the stream than usual. People are going to want to see me play this new fighting game. Today would be a great day to support the streams either by becoming a member or gifting memberships to the community, which people very much appreciate, okay? What do you get if you're a member? Well, access to all of my emotes, of which I have a ridiculous amount. A chat crown badge to show how long you've actually been a supporter. That looks like a crown that'll upgrade over time. You don't have to abide by the slow mode rules of the chat. You can talk as much as you want. You get a highlighted comment if you actually talk on demand on a comment on a video. You get priority for special events. For example, in 1 week's time is my 15th anniversary marathon celebration. And if you remember, you get priority to nominate moments that we'll watch back and react to on that event. And that always happens moving forward. We're going to have a lot of themed events for the end of the year, like Halloween and Christmas, and members always get priority for those. And many other things as well. So please consider becoming a member. And if you're someone who supports my content, you're like, oh, I'd really like to see, the community grow and prosper, consider gifting some memberships. All right? That's a great way to give back to everyone, for being here and just chilling and having a great vibe and atmosphere. I'm grateful for everyone who comes by my streams every day. And I love the fact that there's an opportunity to have the whole community get something out of it. It's really nice. So please consider it. And thanks in advance to anyone who supports my streams today in any way. But community gifting is a great way to do it. Of course, you can always tip me. And tipping is a great way to help out as well. That's a direct contribution through PayPal. I get it right away. It actually helps a little bit more than other contribution methods because I get more of a cut of that, which is nice. But all contribution methods are all greatly appreciated. Thank you in advance to anyone who supports my streams today. All right, so let's do it, everyone. Let's talk about my day off yesterday, shall we? A little segment I like to call Phil's Day Off. One day I'm going to set up sound effects. I have them on my computer, and I still haven't set them up. Remember, I used to have the little sound maker, and it broke? So I have those sound effects on my computer ready to play, and I've just never set them up because I'm stupid. I know I could do it, and I never remember. So it's time for Phil's day off. Dun, 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 dun. Very exciting. So here's the deal. We've been in such a crazy heat wave here in Washington. This summer, in Washington State, USA, we have had more hot days than any summer before on recorded history. We have more days above 90 degrees Fahrenheit than we've ever had. Now, it's not the hottest we've ever had. 2 years ago, we had an insane heat wave. One day was 111 degrees Fahrenheit. The pavement outside was starting to melt. It was so hot. It's not meant for that. This weather is not meant for that, you see? But this year, despite not having temperatures that high, we've had overall more hot days. We had such a heat wave this week. I had my air conditioners on maximum blast with the door closed, and it was still 80 degrees in here in this one small room that I broadcast from. That's how hot it was. But finally yesterday, it cooled down, which was really nice for it to finally cool down, okay? But sadly, some negative things had happened as a result of this crazy heat wave, okay? So here's what happened. You know, basically, because of the heat, there was a lot more insect activity around here. Fruit flies, among other things. And, you know, I have trash in my garage. We can only, listen to this, we only get trash removal every 2 weeks. And so it builds up. You know, your trash accumulates. And because of the trash in the garage, we started getting a bunch of fruit flies in the garage. I was like, oh, this is nasty. Now I have bug spray. And I was going out there spraying. But still, it was so hot and everything. These fruit flies were looking for somewhere to go and multiply. And they were doing it in our garage. Like, this is disgusting. So yesterday, I basically had to go to the dump, all right, to get rid of these bags of trash that normally we would have accumulated and thrown out normally every 2 weeks, but there was just too much, you know, too many bugs. I was like, I gotta get this out of here before these bugs start trying to come in the house and everything. So it's funny because I was getting the bags ready to take to the dump, and guess what I noticed? Ants. Ants everywhere on the ground as well. So we had fruit flies and ants coming in because of the heat, trying to get to the trash in the garage. And I'm like, oh, this is nasty. Now we have both, right? That's dead. We have air and ground attack. What's next? What can we have water bugs too? Then we got land, sea, and air attacks all coming into our house, right? Good news is it was isolated to the garage. Okay, it was just in the garage. That was it. And it was isolated to the area of the trash cans. It wasn't like, oh my God, the whole garage is infested or anything like that. It was just these bugs were, you know, coming into the garage, and it was very annoying. So after having sprayed with bug spray for about 2-3 days, realizing there's no way this is going to stop, I got to freaking get this trash out of here. Yesterday, I geared up, these giant ass rubber gloves, and I basically took giant garbage bags. I piled our trash into these garbage bags and tied them up full of bugs, disgusting, tossed them into the car, and went to the garbage dump. And I got rid of them. And of course, it was gross. You know, in the car, all of a sudden, some of these bugs are coming up. Like, this is nasty, right? This is freaking ridiculous. So, anyway, I got rid of it. It wasn't a huge deal. But then when I came home, now the bugs are confused. The ones that are still alive, that is. Because, of course, a bunch of them were in the trash, and some of them got killed by the bug spray. But now I got ants still coming in, because you know how ants work. Don't they communicate via, isn't it like a pheromone or something? Like they smell and they communicate that way, and that way they know where to go. So they think there's food. Now there's no food anymore. It's all gone. The garage has nothing in it for them to eat. So they're coming in and they don't know what to do anymore. So they're just walking in, and they're walking like a circle, and they're confused. So like, what am I going to do? So I had to kill them all again, which sucks. I don't like having to kill a bunch of innocent ants. They didn't do anything, but they're coming into my garage. And what I ended up doing was making a perimeter of kind of bug spray at the bottom of the garage. And I already have ant traps from previous invasions at the other end of the house at our back door. And I put down the ant traps at the end of the garage and basically let it sit for the rest of the day. And one more time I went out there and I saw some, and I got rid of them. And then by the end of the day, I went out there again, finally gone. So no fruit flies were gone, and the ants were gone. I just checked this morning, and once again, no fruit flies, no ants. The other good thing is the heat dissipated. The heat wave ended. So because of that, I think the bugs are going to go back to their normal behavior rather than freaking out because it's so hot and desperate for food or whatever. You know, they're actually going to kind of relax a bit, because that's the problem when the heat goes up. All these things change and things become intrusive, right? You know, wild animals going crazy, you got bugs going crazy. They all want to get inside to eat your shit. Like, what is this? They usually wouldn't do that. But anyway, yeah, it seems okay now. Like I said, I checked last night and this morning. No ants, no fruit flies. It looks like they've probably gotten the message there's no food in here anymore. And I think we're all right. But it was kind of a gross day of me having to deal with all these bugs and everything. Weirdly enough, now normally I don't have a Friday off. Usually I take my day off in the middle of the week, like a Wednesday or Thursday. Oddly enough, how weird is this? It was way less people out yesterday when I went out to do my errands. You know, usually on my day off, I do grocery shopping. If I need to get pet supplies, if I need to pick up anything from a store like my wife had ordered needs to be picked up or whatever, I do that on the day off. And there was way less people. And I don't know why. Because you would think it's Friday. Friday is the beginning of the weekend. For a lot of people, that's the day when they actually go out and do stuff. But there was way less. I don't get it. I would kind of scratch my head like, why is it slower today? Especially the grocery store. You would think grocery store, a lot of people get out of work, they go right to the grocery store, and it was empty. And I was like, dude, what's going on with that? It really confused me. So, how is it busier on a Wednesday or Thursday than a Friday? I don't know, but hey, I got all my stuff done. You know, nothing too crazy or special, but just got all my normal stuff done that I needed to do. And when I came home, my wife and I ordered some dinner. We ordered, like from a teriyaki place. So we ordered like we each had a combo that was like some chicken teriyaki, but also some chicken katsu. And it came with like a side salad and mine had some like gyoza that it came with too that we shared. So that was pretty nice. And what we've been doing this summer is we've been putting out a bowl of like peanuts. Whenever we notice that there's creatures in the neighborhood, we'll put out a bowl of peanuts. And we've got all kinds of awesome animals that have come by. We've got a bunch of squirrels that come by and eat the peanuts. We've got different kinds of birds, all kinds of birds. We got little guys, we got big guys, big Steller's jays that are big, beautiful bluebirds. But this year we also have these new ones called northern flickers, which are a relative of the woodpecker, but much larger. And they're very beautiful. They've got like these cool plumage of like red streaks throughout their brown bodies. Really beautiful creatures. But because it's been so hot recently, we started putting out bowls of like water for them to drink, and the squirrels have actually been drinking. And one thing that a squirrel does is when a squirrel is like tired or overheated but it feels safe, it'll do what's called splooting. Have you ever heard of a squirrel sploot? It'll do a complete flat split and just lay flat on the ground like this, like spread legs, spread armed. It's hilarious. It looks so funny. And they started doing this in our backyard recently. It was funny to watch these squirrels do. They're like, what the heck? It's just hilarious. You're like, what is a squirrel doing back there? Looks like it got flattened, but it's just relaxing on the pavement. So the squirrels were splooting, but then later on in the day, I look out back and I said, honey, come here, take a look at this. You're going to like this. And she goes, there's a cat out there. And it's a stray. It does not have a collar. But this is the weirdest thing about this cat, okay? It's drinking the water, which we don't care. Let a cat drink the water, right? But looks like it's a Siamese cat, okay? Like it has blue eyes. It's got the black facial hair, but then the lighter colored hair around the rest of the body. So like, is that a Siamese? But it's really, really furry. Like it's a big, giant, puffed out, furry ass cat. And we're like, that doesn't seem like a stray to me. You know what I mean? Like stray cats would look like a tabby cat, or that's the typical kind of cat you would see loose without an owner living in the wild. You wouldn't see a giant puffy Siamese in the wild. That's weird to me. So we're watching. I'm like, I get the feeling. And I'm sad to say, here in Washington State, pets are huge. Pets are a giant industry here. Way more so than when I lived in like Connecticut or the East Coast. We see cats, dogs, and pets of all kinds all over the place. There's a million places that you can rescue or adopt pets out here. So it's a huge thing. But sadly, when you have so many more pets, this also means that sadly there's a lot of owners who aren't responsible. And I'm looking at this cat and I'm like, I get the feeling this cat had an owner and the owner was an irresponsible jerk and let the cat go. Because how the heck do you get a cat like that? Again, this is not the kind of cat you would see in the wild. It's like definitely a domesticated cat. Like, why the heck is it out there with no collar? It doesn't make any sense. So it was drinking the water, and it was funny because Jasper ran up to the back door and was watching the cat, and the cat got into a stare down with Jasper, and they were just doing like a stare off at each other. Keep in mind that Jasper has almost never seen other cats since we rescued him. You know, obviously when he was in the rescue shelter, he saw other animals, but since then he's just lived with us, or once a year we take him to the vet, right? So he doesn't really see other animals. So to him to see another cat is like, woo, he's freaking out. And the other cat also seemed like frozen and looking, and they had this big stare down. And they were like, we let him stare for like maybe 10 minutes. The cat wasn't going anywhere. Like, you think it's hungry? Maybe give it a treat or something, right? So we had a few little crunchy treat things. I don't even know what the hell they're called. And my wife was going to try to put them out. But the moment that she even tried to open the back door a little crack, whoosh, the cat took off. Just as a bolt. Whoop, gone. Like, well, we tried. We wanted to see if maybe it was hungry. We could help it out. But it didn't. It just took off. It didn't come back either. Like, we looked all night. We were hoping maybe it would come back. Nope. Didn't come out. So it is what it is. We don't know. But we're assuming it's a stray because it didn't have a collar. You know, if it had a collar, it's one thing. Maybe it's an outdoor cat of a neighbor, but it didn't have a collar, so we're assuming it's a stray. It was kind of interesting because, again, it didn't look like the kind of cat that should be out there by itself. It wasn't a typical tabby or whatever that you would see as like a wild cat out there. It definitely looked like a domesticated breed. Anyway, so that was pretty much it. You know, nothing too super exciting yesterday or anything like that. That was pretty much the entirety of my day off. Pretty, not necessarily uneventful. It was a busy day. At least it wasn't a terrible day. The bugs were pretty gross, but got rid of them, thankfully. And, you know, now I'm back. I'm back for a 5-day streaming week, which we'll now talk about. We'll transition into what I'll be doing this week for you guys, okay? So first of all, 1 week from today is my big 15th anniversary marathon. Now, hold on. I don't know if this is the right picture. It is. Good. My 15th anniversary marathon happens in 1 week. So now I really got to heavily start promoting this thing. All right? The reason I bring this up is because you have 1 week left to nominate your favorite moments from my 15-year history as a YouTuber for us to watch back and react to live during this event. Okay? So how can you do that? Well, first of all, if you're a channel member, you're in luck. You have priority to do this. Go right to the members tab of this channel. You go to the main channel page. There's all these tabs, members tab. You will see a thread from the beginning of August where you can nominate these moments. Please post up the moments that you like the most. You know, link the link, and if there's a timestamp and what you like about that moment so we know what to watch. I would absolutely love to see what the members are up to and what you guys have liked over the years. But if you're not a channel member, there's also an open thread. Same thing. If you go to the main channel page of DSPGaming, but this time go to the community tab and just scroll all the way down to early August. There was a public thread there. Or if you're here live on the stream right now, type ! retrospective. And the link will open up in the chat. You can click on that link. That'll bring you to that post as well. Please nominate there. Now, if you're a member, you get to double nominate. You can nominate in the members thread and you can nominate over in the open thread. But I'm going to limit you to 2 videos per person per thread. So if you're a standard viewer, you get 2 nominations. If you're a member, you technically get 4. You get 2 in the members thread and 2 in the public thread. Okay? Now, if we get very close to the event, there's not enough moments, maybe I'll open it up a little more. But I want to be sure everyone gets a chance to nominate and not one person nominates 700 moments and everyone else nominates 1. You know, I want it to be fair. Okay? So, please nominate your favorite moments. I'm excited for this event. In 1 week's time, it's a marathon all day long over on DSP Reacts, which is my sister channel where we do react events. We'll be relaxing. We'll be having fun. Number 1, I'll be drinking. I'll have some liquor, and if we get contributions in that day, I'll be taking shots. I know it's more laid-back atmosphere. There's nothing super serious going on. I'm not driving. I'll actually be able to have some liquor and have a party-like atmosphere and relax with all of you over the course of the day, which will be nice, right? It's a good way to celebrate 15 years as a YouTuber. What I will likely do is give you a little bit of backstory about how I became a YouTuber and how different things were back then, how different my mentality was, and how things have definitely changed over the years. Okay, I'll do a little bit of intro before we actually get to the straight up reacting and all of that. So, during the course of that day, we'll be reacting to all the clips that you guys have nominated. I'll put them up into a playlist format similar to how we do with DSP versus the internet. That way we can just kind of jump through the clips and watch them together and enjoy them. But also, my wife will be making some food that day. What kind of food? I don't know yet. She's going to figure that out this week. She's going to be looking up recipes and things. She wants to cook just like she did for the digital summer party and for the Fight and Feast. You guys really seem to like the fact that she contributed to those marathons via cooking. So she's going to cook again, and we're going to have some taste testing. And it's going to be a good time. It is. It's going to be a great time. We're all going to relax, interact, have a good chill day. No pressure to get through any particular amount of clips or anything during that day. It's just way laid back and having a good time and celebrating 15 years of awesome time on the internet. And maybe 15 more. Or not. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, I'm excited for it. I hope that you guys are too. And Derek makes a good point. He says, be sure if you want a certain timestamp watch that you timestamp it, because if you don't, I won't know. That's right. If you don't timestamp the videos, I won't know what moment you want me to watch. And if you're linking me to a 10-minute, 20-minute video, but the moment you want me to watch is 5 minutes in, there's no way I will know that. So be sure to put that information into your nomination post. And there you go, okay? So that's a week from today. So what are we doing before then? Let's talk. Today, I've already told you, it's Mortal Kombat 1 all day long. We're going to check it out on this first stream. We're going to check it out on the late stream, okay? Late stream, just so you know, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time. Tomorrow, more Mortal Kombat 1 on the daytime stream. And that'll be my last session for this beta. The beta runs till 8 a.m. Monday. But after 3 straight sessions, I feel like that'll be good enough, right? Tomorrow night, late night stream will be a community night in Street Fighter 6. And likely it might be the final community night that we do for a very long time in Street Fighter 6. Just being honest, okay? I don't know when we're going to squeeze another one in, because now we got new releases and stuff coming out you guys want. So I've got to juggle all these games, and I need time for all of them. So it seems like the only time I'll get to play Street Fighter 6 may be ranked play moving forward, but we'll see, okay? On Monday, it'll be my React show, DSP versus the Internet. This is the Clips React show we do once a week over on DSP Reacts. Normally it's on Sunday. This week it's Monday because Sunday is the Mortal Kombat beta. And then Monday night is more Chrono Trigger here on DSPGaming. Then on Tuesday, it'll be Grand Theft Auto 5, the anniversary run continuing. And then it'll be Street Fighter 6 ranked gameplay of Honda on the late stream. Then on Wednesday, which is my final consecutive streaming day this week, it'll be more GTA 5 anniversary run and more Street Fighter 6, but this night it'll be ranked Blanca, which leads me to my next subject, a brief update on how I've been doing in Street Fighter 6, but notably that last session, where I used Blanca. Okay, here we go. Gotta bring up my stats. So, back on Thursday, on the daytime stream, I played Blanca in a ranked session. Our goal was to get him out of Platinum and into Diamond. The good news is, we very successfully did that. In fact, it was one of, if not, no, it actually was. Okay, except for one other time. This was my second most successful session I've ever had with Blanca. Even though I didn't have crazy win streaks, I was winning way more than I was losing. In fact, like I said, this was the biggest percentile of wins that I've actually gotten in a very long time. There was one other time where I did much better, but that was because I was way in the low ranks. So I played about 80 matches roughly. I won 56 matches and lost 21 for a 73% win-loss ratio with Blanca. So that got me all the way from Platinum 5-star into the mid-range Diamond 2-star, pushing into Diamond 3-star. All right? So, I'm very pleased with that performance, actually. You know, one of my better performances for sure. And FYI, currently, we are at 2,280 wins, 1,487 total losses for a 61% win-loss rate in Street Fighter 6. We are approaching 2,500 wins. We're less than 250 away, right? In each session I usually play, we get about maybe 50 to 80 games depending on the time of the session. So, give it another 1 to 2 weeks, I think we're actually going to hit my 2,500th win in Street Fighter 6, which would be crazy. But, hey, I've been playing it a lot, so obviously it makes sense, right? So I'm very happy with that performance, and I'm definitely more excited now as I push into the higher ranks with Honda and Blanca and try to get them to master. I'm hoping that within the next few weeks we'll get them both to master. Once they both hit master rank, then I will actually start taking other characters such as Lily, Luke, maybe Zangief, Dalsim, and actually trying to play with them and rank them up further in the game as well. But right now, I got to get these two guys as high up as I can. You know, I'd like to get 2 characters to master. It would be really awesome. Okay? There you go. All right. So that's the streaming week, by the way. That's 5 days. I'm off on Thursday of this week. When I come back this Friday, it is the premiere of Armored Core 6. Yes, it has been donated by a viewer. You guys have said, please at least try it. Now, there's no commitment that I'm doing a full playthrough of Armored Core 6, but because you guys have demanded that I try it out, I will be playing it this coming Friday as the main daytime stream on release day. Then Friday night will be Friday Night Fights, my weekly late night session of Street Fighter on Fridays. Obviously, we didn't do it this last week because I wasn't here Friday, so it comes back this Friday. And likely for Friday night, we'll go right back into ranked. I'm thinking probably jump back to Honda again and do another late night Honda ranked session. This weekend, the special marathon is on Saturday, so that's the 15th anniversary marathon on Saturday. Sunday will be DSP versus the Internet, and then Sunday night we'll probably do Chrono Trigger, and then this week we're going to alternate daytime streams between Armored Core and GTA 5 the anniversary run, and the night streams will alternate between Street Fighter 6 and Chrono Trigger, so that'll be for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay? And then Thursday's my day off again. All right? Now, obviously, we got more stuff coming up. We've got Starfield. We've got Lies of P. We've got the actual release of Mortal Kombat 1, just to name a few of the games coming out in the first half of September that are going to be exciting. My goal for the first half of September is to complete GTA 5's anniversary run so that we can move on to all new games and not having anything too lingering. Chrono Trigger will likely continue on night streams, but it's not a super lengthy game. I actually did look up my status of where I am in the game compared to my run from 10 years ago. So my run from 10 years ago was only a 15-hour, 16-hour playthrough, okay? Right now, I'm about the halfway point of that playthrough, but I'm 10 hours in. So being that I'm about halfway through the game at 10 hours, I would assume the playthrough will be about 20. So I think within another 2 to 3 weeks, this week I can only play Chrono Trigger once. But then next week I'll probably play it twice, and maybe one more week, I'll likely end up beating the game. So it looks like we may have perfect timing to finish both GTA 5 and Chrono Trigger right before all the new releases start hitting in September. In which case, it'll be a balance between all the new releases and some Street Fighter 6 for ranked every once in a while. Which should be great. Okay, I think all that's going to be a great schedule. And by the way, once the anniversary event happens next month, well, this month, we're going to plan out what's happening next month. I don't know what's happening next month. I like doing a special event once a month, but I'm not sure what to do, right? Should we do just kind of a chill marathon? Should we do a marathon of something particular? I'm not sure. You know, in October, it's easier. October, we're doing a Halloween marathon, and there's already going to be 2 horror games coming out, both Alone in the Dark and Alan Wake 2, which likely we can play during the course of that day as ongoing playthroughs, plus maybe squeeze in some other horror-themed games and things to do during that day, which would be pretty fun, I think. So that's easy. But the question is, what do we want to do for September? Or do you think September will be so busy with crazy amounts of new games that we don't do a special event? We forego the special event. I'm not sure. We'll have to talk about it, like I said, but I think right now the focus is this marathon event next week for my anniversary, and then after that we get into everything else, okay? Okay, now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for a little segment that I like to call DSPN, also known as DSP's Gaming News segment. Which it would be nice to maybe get some music or sound effect or something for the transition. Right now I got nothing, but we'll see. Anyway, not too much to talk about today. Very little amount of stuff going on. First of all, this one is not gaming news, but I found it so hilarious that I wanted to bring it up today. Yesterday, in all of his intelligent wisdom, Elon Musk posted up a tweet publicly on his account stating that he didn't feel that the block feature on Twitter/X app, whatever you want to call it now, had any kind of meaning or use. That it was a very dumb feature to block people on Twitter or X. Therefore, he's going to remove it. To which, the moment he posted that up, hundreds of thousands of people freaked out. They immediately started posting up, I'm gone. If the day I can't block people on this app, I'm out of here. With all the online harassment, the scams, the bots, all kinds of crap that happens on the internet. Now, you expect me to use your social media app and have to put up with all that with no way to avoid any of that kind of bad activity? There's absolutely no way I would use it. I'll just leave. All right? So first of all, there was a big public outcry backlash saying this guy's out of his mind. How does he not understand what a block feature could possibly do? Then the memesters started coming out and saying things such as, well, the reason that we think that Elon Musk is saying this is because everyone blocked him. Because he tweets the dumbest shit and no one wants to see it, but it keeps getting recommended. I can attest to this. My feed, for some reason, keeps getting a ton of Elon Musk tweets. Why? Because I interacted with the guy once. Like, once I responded to one of his tweets. So why on earth is he the top of my feed every day? He's literally changed the algorithm of the site so he's at the forefront so everyone reads his goddamn tweets. But people got tired of it and blocked his ass. So they don't have to put up with it. And I think he's pissed about it. Like, oh, everyone blocks me and I own the site. Well, watch this. I'll just remove the block feature. Now you got to read my tweets, right? So basically, a lot of people think he's just an egomaniac, and this is why he's going to do it. But the best part about the whole situation is that it only lasted about 2 hours. Because after 2 hours, his own team of employees who will do those community correction posts under actually did a community correction post on him, stating Elon Musk has no power to remove the block feature from X, because if he does, this app is no longer valid to be listed either on the iOS or the Google Play stores. They have terms of service that require social media apps have a way to block people who harass you. So if it doesn't have a block feature, they literally can't be used ever again. The whole app would be shut down and no one would be able to use it. His own employees corrected his stupidity. Made him look like the dumbest asshole on the planet, which he was. I mean, you are a billionaire. You're the richest dude on the planet. Do you think maybe you should think for 5 seconds before you post something stupid on your own fucking app? Before you look like a jackass to the world? He thinks he's like immune, is what it is, because he's so rich. You know, I can do whatever I want. I can spread misinformation. It doesn't matter, because I'm Mr. fucking richest in the world. He's a moron. He really is. It's sad. This guy's in charge of multi-billion-dollar companies. He's got the lives of thousands of people in his hands. And he just acts on a whim without thinking, without any kind of, rational thought. Just say whatever I want. He's a fucking idiot. And this is the kind of... Why would you put your faith in a guy like that? Why would you ever want to invest in a company he fucking runs? Why would you want to buy a car he makes when he's an idiot? It's funny because someone said, what's the key to success, right? It's like, what's the missing piece to a complete and successful life? Is it intelligence? Is it skill? Is it experience? Or is it, that $1 billion my parents gave me? Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, perfect. That's the missing piece, right? Yeah, if only I had all that inheritance too. Yeah, I'm sure, I'd be able to be doing stuff. But that's life, right? So, anyway, it was one of the most hilarious moments I've experienced on Twitter/X since Elon Musk bought it. He literally made him look like the dumbest person on the planet on his own fucking business. So, there you go. Anyway, let's continue. Two interesting things regarding Call of Duty. All right. First of all, the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 beta looks like it's going to start on October 6th. Retailers got a bunch of information about it. And apparently what it was saying was like if the game is pre-ordered, then the beta is going to come out on the 6th. And therefore, that's one way that you can push pre-orders of the game to your customers is like say to pre-order so you can get access to the beta and stuff like that. I mean, that's all well and good, but Call of Duty is already coming out in October, so it's not like that's much of a advanced thing, right? Isn't Modern Warfare... Oh, wait a minute. Hold on a second. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I'm completely wrong. I'll admit when I'm wrong. It comes out November 10th. And therefore, this would give you like a month, I guess, of early access to play this beta whenever weekends they're going to run it, which I guess it's not clear how many times they'll run this beta or whatever. But the beta will be running apparently starting October 6th. And so they said to retailers, start pushing it. So they are. So that's interesting. If you're interested in that, you know, you might want to jump on that to play a little early. And the other piece of information. Now, this is very interesting. Okay. David Vonderhaar, one of the big influential higher-ups when it comes to Call of Duty, just quit the company. He quit Activision and Treyarch. All right? Apparently, he was one of the spearheads and the people leading every single Black Ops game that came out under the Call of Duty umbrella for the last 8+ years. Ever since Black Ops started, he was in charge or one of the head guys. He quit the company. And apparently the rumor is he's moving on to another big gaming project. But we're not sure exactly what yet. At least as of yesterday, we didn't know. Someone is saying in my chat that he joined Sony. That wasn't even known yesterday. But that's pretty interesting because this is someone who, you know, he was working for literally the biggest first-person shooter franchise in the world, and he opted to leave to go work on something else. That's interesting to me. Does that mean that the writing is on the wall for Call of Duty? That people internally are realizing that this game is not all it's cracked up to be and literally every year sells on word of mouth and hype rather than the game actually being good? Are people in the industry wanting to now move on from Call of Duty and do other things because they hate it? I'm curious, why have you 8+ years, you're at the top of the food chain. You're probably making insane amounts of money, especially if you're one of the leads on Call of Duty. Can you imagine the amount of money they probably make because of the way that game, you know, sells? Why on earth would you want to jump ship? You know, if anything, perhaps it has something to do with creative desires to do something else. Imagine making the same fucking game for like 15 years or something, right? Imagine that. See, I'm a content creator for 15 years. The reason I like it is because I do something different all the time. I'm playing Mortal Kombat today, Street Fighter tomorrow, GTA in a day. We're doing some React content, Chrono Trigger. That's amazing. I don't get burnt out because I do variety. Imagine if every year you just had to make another shitty Call of Duty, right? You get tired of it, like, oh my god, this sucks. Every day I gotta make this fucking game, same thing every day, right? So maybe they just had enough, and they're just like, yeah, Ellipsian just made a great point. He says, once you have enough money, you can actually afford to go do whatever you want in life. There you go. Maybe he made so much money making Call of Duty, he's like, fuck this. I'm tired of this shit. I want to actually go on and do something that I enjoy, something meaningful. Make a game that I can be proud of instead of the same bullshit every year. And you know what? More power to him if that's actually what the case is. Do something creative, fun, and meaningful. And don't just do it for the dollar. Amazing. That's, I think, honestly, that's like where we all aspire to be in life, no? Right? To be able to do whatever you want with your time because you want to be creative, you want to be free, you want to have meaning. Instead of just, I do this all day for money. I type, I click, I talk, I do boring bullshit I don't like for money. No one likes that. You want to do something they have passion for. So that's pretty cool. Red Gamer says Sony is looking to create their own first-person shooter to rival Call of Duty. Maybe they poached him. Could be. Perhaps. All right. Anyway, that was interesting news because the Call of Duty community was like, what? Like, this guy's been one of the leads for the longest ass time. And to see him jump ship from the company after being apart for so long, integral part of the company. A lot of people are like freaking out, like, what just happened, right? Like, is this part of a doomsday sign for Call of Duty? Are we going to see more exodus of employees that were the ones responsible for the greatness that the company once was, right? I don't know. There you go. All right. So that's what I've got for today. And now, ladies and gentlemen, oop, what the hell? I guess we're going on break. No, we're not. Now we're going to move on to a shout-outs segment. First, I'm going to do YouTube side shout-outs. And then I got a special announcement to make. All right? But first, let's do YouTube side shout-outs, okay? So, on the YouTube side of shout-outs, we start off today with Adam, who did a super chat. Thank you, Adam, for the first super chat of the day. We got Jack Anderson, who re-upped his membership for 17 months. Thank you so much, Jack, for your ongoing support. Corpin did a $5 super chat this morning. Thank you, Corpin. Said, I referenced a DSP versus the internet from 2 weeks ago. You already forgot about it. No wonder you want to do a retrospective so bad. I have no idea what you're talking about. Hold on. Two days ago, Corbin did a super chat, and he says, how is saying the GameCube repair is a lot of work and then skipping the video a meaningful react? Okay. I think here's the point I was making. All right? If you wanted to talk about something, like my reaction to something there, you should probably do it that day during the event, or maybe the next day. When you're bringing something up 2 weeks later, it's not in context. No one knows what the hell you're talking about. And certainly if I'm doing a late night gameplay stream, nobody cares. If I remember 2 days ago, we were doing Chrono Trigger. So can you imagine I'm in the middle of like a Chrono Trigger boss fight. We're doing epic retro gameplay. And someone comes to super chat about something that randomly happened during a react show 2 weeks prior. It's a little out of context, don't you think? So maybe that's the problem. Put it in context. Or if you wanted to do that, leave a comment on the video. And then maybe people will understand what you're saying in context to the video. Maybe you'll get a response. You're not going to get a response about it in the middle of an unrelated stream 2 weeks later. All right. Anyway, let's continue. Genesis Gaming became a member for 18 months at the super supporter level. Thank you, Genesis Gaming, for supporting the channel at an even higher level. I appreciate that. He says, 18 months already. I'm excited for MK1. Everyone get over here. Come here. Bing, 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 bing. I'm going to do all the Liu Kang sound effects today. Ding, 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 ding. Whoa! Wada, wada, wada. Zakata, wada. Oh! I love those. Back in the day, that's all you would hear in the arcade. You would hear screaming Liu Kangs wherever they had Mortal Kombat cabinets. It was absolutely ridiculous. He's OP in the beta. Well, I mean, he's supposed to be God. He probably should be OP, no? If he's God. I'm just saying. Anyway, Bo Rock did a super chat and says, here's $2 for your positivity. Thank you so much, Bo Rock. Let's get you on the leaderboard as the latest super chatter that I've seen here. Appreciate that. And Parasolo just gifted 2 memberships to the community. Doesn't say where they went to. I don't know why this queue doesn't say where they went to. One went to Alex for Phoenix. Congrats, Alex. And one went to Ratface. So there you go. Congrats. All right. That's 2 more memberships. And that's on our way to getting us back to 500. I'm really hoping by the end of today's 2 Mortal Kombat streams that we can get to the 500 mark again. I really hope so. Let's see here. I got a shout out to Lady who re-upped their membership for 11 months. Says MK time. I myself am my former pro MK player. Well, good for you. Nice meme reference, by the way. And Alex from Phoenix just did a super chat. It says, do Raiden? Oh, God. What? See, over the years, they changed what he said when he does the push, right? Originally, he said nothing. He used to be silent when he did his push move, but then they changed it to, like, yelling, but then they changed it. The one that I always remember is, hold on. He used to do this he had an infinite throw loop in Mortal Kombat 4, the first build before they fixed the game and rebalanced it. Because in Mortal Kombat 4 had a run button, just like 3, but also it had a throw that was different. Previously, throws were like run and tap block when you're near, but in that one, they changed it to be a forward motion and a button. So he would run up, he would lift up your leg like this, holding it, and he would twist the leg completely, supposedly snapping all the bones, and he would go like, don't grab my leg! Oh! Oh, don't grab my leg! Oh! Oh, don't grab my leg! Oh! And it would just keep doing it in a loop. The cracking, snapping sounds, and it was a broken infinite. You couldn't get out of it. It was a complete glitch in the game. It was one of the most brutal things ever. Imagine someone just keep twisting someone's leg entirely, you know, with this snapping sound, and the person just screaming constantly, and then they just die. It's their whole energy bar, right? That's what I remember from Mortal Kombat 4. That game sucked. Anyway, yeah, I don't really remember any of the other Raiden classic sound effects, though. So, Jade says, on the day off, I bought Judgment, and I'm ready for Your Soul Is Mine and finish him in Fatality. I don't think Shang Tsung is in this. Isn't Shang Tsung yet again the pre-order bonus character? Is that like the second game in a row? Wasn't he a pre-order bonus in the last one, too? I think so. they keep putting him as the pre-order bonus for some odd reason. I remember MK9, it was Goro, and Goro sucked. He was like the worst character. But everyone liked to play with him. So Alex, thank you for the super chat. Also, Daniel Miller just became an Ultra member this morning. Thank you so much, Daniel, for the high level of support there. Thank you so much. That gets us to 485 and climbing. Thank you, Daniel. I really appreciate that. Okay. All right, so ladies and gents, as we're going to swing over to tips side contributions now, all right? We do have something more serious to talk about, all right? So I hope that you guys are ready, all right? So I have a special message that I have to read this morning, and it came along with a contribution, but I would like to read the message first as to not, you know, dilute what we're going to talk about today, all right? So I have a message here from Game Tracker, all right? So everyone please listen up. For those who don't know, Game Tracker has been literally consistently supporting Street Fighter 6 since the day the game came out. Every single Street Fighter 6 stream I have played, he has supported. He tipped every time. Crazy. He didn't miss a single one, right? Now, early on in the life cycle of Street Fighter 6, you know, June and July, he was giving me all kinds of gameplay tips. He's the one who explained to me how various gameplay mechanics actually worked, which I didn't understand. He's the one that, as I was getting better with certain characters, he would explain various little nuances of the character and ways to improve and things like that. All right? So he's been a critical part of these streams of Street Fighter 6. He's been a critical supporter and component of me playing the game as much as I did. In addition, for those who don't know, he's always been a supporter of my streams. I mean, I remember last year, was it, or the year before, I was playing Hades, and he showed up for every Hades stream and supported and was giving me tips in that. So he's been around for a while as a very positive part of the community, okay? So here's an announcement, all right? I'm going to read it word for word so you guys get it right from him, not from me trying to translate, but I'm actually going to read his messages word from word this morning. Okay, so here we go. Hey, everyone. I have some bittersweet things to say today. I've already sent Phil an email about this, so he knew that this was coming. I've been considering this for a couple of weeks, when it would be the best time to step away from my engagement with Phil's streams, and I eventually settled on today. Basically, my life this year has not gone the way that I wanted it to. It's not a problem with money or trolls. It has to do with my responsibilities. My work has just become more and more busy. Plus, I've been needing to give support to an increasing number of people in my life, on top of my own health not being at its best at this very moment. As a result, I've ended up with very little time to watch Phil's content at all, and I'm seeing the signs that I need to commit to a shift in focus. Okay? That was part 1. Now we're going to read part 2. I've already made arrangements to pass the torch of counting Phil's fighting game wins and losses to a different fan of his who prefers not to be named. As for my tips, well, you know, there may be times in the future when I'll have something to say, and I'd like to see Phil respond on his podcast, for instance, but it's true, generally you will not be seeing me anymore, at least for the time being. I've greatly enjoyed contributing to these streams with my tips and tips, meaning financial and tips about the game as well, but nothing in life lasts forever, and I've been reminded of this a lot recently. That said, I've always been a fan of Phil's, and I still hope that someday my life will calm down and I can come back reliably and chill with all of you. And I know that at whatever time that does eventually happen, he'll still be here making content. So there you go. So rather than just disappearing, which, by the way, I will say this, that was nice of Game Tracker to write everyone a message, because there's been people over the years who've supported me, and they've moved on. And that's perfectly fine. That happens to everyone, right? But in a case like Game Tracker, where he's been here consistently for every Street Fighter stream, he's had so many things to add. He's had tips and things for me to learn the game. You know, people might say, well, whatever happened to him, right? Is he all right? Is he alive? Did he move on? What happened? In this case, he opted to actually write a personal message to everyone so that everyone knows what's going on with them, right? And the thing is, something like this happens literally every day. Literally, every single day, this kind of thing happens, where people say, I can't do it anymore, whether it's I can't watch the streams anymore. You know, for me, I'll be honest, when I was younger, I used to be a humongous fan of the Angry Video Game Nerd and the Nostalgia Critic, okay? And then, basically, when I got to a point in my life where it was like, well, I'm making my own content now. I'm too busy to be watching their content constantly. And I used to be a big proponent and supporter, and, you know, not, you know what? It's time to move on. And I did, you know, and that's fine. That was my personal thing, because I just didn't have time to watch. I wanted to make my own content for YouTube, and I didn't have real time to watch all of theirs anymore, nor did I want to, because I was afraid if I watched too much others' content, it would influence mine, you see? So, I get it. Things in life change. Priorities shuffle around. And I'm happy to have entertained the Game Tracker for as long as I did. I'm happy that he liked the content so much that he supported it in such a way that allowed me to play Street Fighter 6 as much as I did. Can I be honest? Yeah, him coming by every single Street Fighter 6 stream and tipping allowed me to play it as much as I did. All right, without his support, maybe I wouldn't have been able to commit as much time or as much effort as I did. And by the way, not just financially, but his tips about the game actually taught me a lot about the basics when I was trying to learn them back in June. And it was a huge help trying to get on my feet and hit the ground running in this game rather than just kind of starting over. Keep in mind, I hadn't played competitive fighting games at a serious capacity for over a decade, and trying to jump into it, you know, being that far behind was a daunting task, but I did it. And now here I am. I have a Master Blanca. I'm trying to get 2 characters to master on the other console now. I'm doing really well in the game. People are enjoying my ongoing content of it. And, you know, in a major part, that's from people like Game Tracker supporting. All right? So, thank you, Game Tracker, #1, for all of the support over the last several months, the years before that, because I knew you were always around supporting other games as well. You know, things change. And I get it. You know, no, I'm not going to be upset. I mean, my God. You know, it's completely the opposite. That I'm just happy and grateful, right? That people like this come by and chill and support when they can. And if things change in time, you know, you move on, that's good as well, right? Thank you for leaving. By the way, thanks for leaving on such nice positive terms. It was really nice to have written the community a message like that so everyone knows what's going on. And obviously, I wish you all the best. And basically, the way I see it is, you know, if you can ever come back, you're more than welcome. But hey, man, I get it. And if you know, sadly, if you move on and this is it, well, thanks. Thanks for the memories, and thanks for chilling on all the awesome streams you were on. And thanks for being a great positive influence here on DSP Gaming and on DSP Reacts as well. Wish you the best, man. All right? Now, the reason that I read those messages the way I did is because he also tipped, but I wanted to read the messages first so we could all enjoy the impact of the messages before idiots started going crazy, because he tipped me $150 with those messages, okay? So rather than feel, oh, he tipped, oh, where's the hat? Where's the vest? Oh, where's the glasses? The glasses, Phil. Instead, I wanted to fucking read the messages and let's talk about them and let them sink in first before we start freaking out about a contribution like some people do, okay? So, yes, Game Tracker tipped $150. That's how you sound? I don't know. Maybe that is how you sound. The way that some people behave over things like a contribution on a stream is pretty ridiculous. I mean, I'm happy to get support, but the way some of these people act in chat is ludicrous. Just being honest. Some people it's like, they lose their shit over a contribution. It's like, guys, relax. We're going to get to it. There's going to be a hat. There'll be all the rewards. There'll be hats and vests and everything. You don't have to freak out. We'll have time for, we really will. We'll have time for everything. Right? Okay? All right. So with this ginormous tip, obviously it means we're going to have all of the rewards today. But I guess the question really is, like, what could we do? Because here is the thing. I'm playing Mortal Kombat 1 for the very first time. Okay? And being that I'm playing it for the very first time, I need to concentrate. I can't have a bunch of ridiculous, distracting, intrusive stuff all over me. You understand? If I do, then I'm not going to learn. I'm going to be more like, oh, my fucking head itches and stupid, you know. So, you know, got to debate, like, what is it that I should wear? I don't know. Like, let's think about it. I would say, for a hat, what should the options be? People are saying the Ryu headband. All right. Because that kind of, it's this, very similar to Liu Kang's headband, right? So I guess that makes sense. Today we could say Liu Kang headband. In fact, you just want to do that? Rather than do a poll, just do the Liu Kang headband. Right? And maybe it makes more sense to just say, let's just do it rather than polling. Unless you guys really wanted to have a poll for it. It's up to you, right? Headband is fine. By the way, Radical Jaws just did a super chat. Says, thank you so much for the Memories Game Tracker. Good luck in the future. There you go. See, people don't even realize that, you know, how positive an influence they can be just by being here on the streams and you know, Game Tracker in particular, always being a nice positive influence, helping with tips on Street Fighter and the stats and everything. It's really nice. It's sad to see him go, but at the same time, I totally get it, you know. So, now some people are saying pull. I guess we could do a poll here. Let's do a poll. We're not going to go too crazy. So, here. Which hat is MK1 best? The Liu Kang headband. The red fedora. I don't know why. I'm just going to pull random ones. The straw hat. Or the fake hair hat. There. You vote out of those ridiculous hats. And then we'll have to also vote on a vest, although I don't know how a vest is going to look with this shirt, you know. I guess we'll have to do lighter vests for sure, right? Okay. Okay, so that is what Game Tracker had to say, but now we have a bunch of other contributions to shout out, guys, so let's do it. While you guys vote on a hat, all right? By the way, why is this screwing up? Hold on. There we go. That should work now. Okay. So we start off with Chris Saturn with a $1 tip, and he's talking about bubbles or something. I don't know. Thanks for the $1 tip, Chris Saturn. He always leaves an insane message with his tips. And really, I don't feel like pulling out the decoder ring today to try to figure out what he's saying. I just want to say thanks for the $1 tip. Okay. I received... Oh, by the way, Gunner glasses. Let's get those going because I do owe you those. Okay. Clean up the glasses and then we'll get going there. What's going on, Juan? How are you today? Welcome. Lots of... Wow. Where'd all these viewers come from? Somehow I have like a ridiculous amount of viewers today. I don't know why. We're not doing anything too special right now. But thanks for being here. I just received a $5 tip from Super Snow Carl Turbo HD Remix. Thank you to Super Snow Carl Turbo HD Remix for a $5 tip. And he says the following. I'm so hyped and ready for the Saturday Slaughterfest. Listen, Phil. Rest in peace to my... Oh, no, he says, rip my spleen open. Eat it with seasoned salt. That's really disgusting. I'm not going to eat your spleen. But I really appreciate... I really appreciate the tip, though. All right. Very good. Okay, continuing on. I got a $2 tip from Big Lurie Gaming. Says, as I said on Thursday, I went to the flea market. I ended up picking up the original Street Fighter game, and holy moly, it's not that great. It's nice to have the game, but I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. I managed to find a guy who did not know the value of Super Mario RPG. I got a copy for $15. It works fine. That's crazy, because the game is worth a ton of money if you can find a working cartridge. It was a great haul. I'm excited to go next week. Have a great day, Phil. Thank you. Yeah, it's pretty crazy if he sold you Super Mario RPG for $15. That thing goes for a ton of, you know, in collector circles, basically. So, very nice. Thank you for the tip. Congrats, Big Larry Gaming, on your wins there. Or your fines, I guess I should say. And we got a $1.50 tip from Choco Boko. I've been enjoying Street Fighter 6 for the past 2 months, but Mortal Kombat is where it's at to bring my family together. My dad and uncle are huge rivals to this franchise ever since 1992. Wow. Well, there you go. Again, you know, at one point, I really don't know if it's still, if people really think of it this way, but when fighting games were becoming prominent in the 1990s, the first game that absolutely exploded, and when you went to the arcades, you would see a ton of arcade cabinets of it, was Street Fighter 2 and all its iterations. You would always have a you know, arcade had 1, 2, 3 cabinets because there were so many people who wanted to play it, You'd have everyone lining up with their quarters, waiting in line to play to be, I got next, and who would be the king of each cabinet, right? It would be pretty fun to see that kind of stuff back in the day. And then, you know, when Mortal Kombat came out, at least in American arcades, because to my understanding, Mortal Kombat was never popular in Japan. It was only in the United States. But Mortal Kombat was the direct competitor of that, where essentially now you had Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter. They would vie for the attention in the arcades, right? And you didn't have 100 cabinets of Mortal Kombat and 100 cabinets of Street Fighter, and the two people kind of lined up, right? Kind of interesting. And it was weird because there really wasn't, how can I say? There wasn't a lot of crossover. It seemed like the people who really like Mortal Kombat weren't necessarily into Street Fighter and vice versa. Now, I played both, and I liked both, but definitely at my local arcades, all right, at first Mortal Kombat had all the hype because of the gore and everything, but by the time, like, MK3 came out, people liked it, but really what happened was Street Fighter was branching out. Street Fighter wasn't just Street Fighter 2. It was Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter Alpha, the Versus series, and Street Fighter 3. So you basically had 4 franchises for Street Fighter. With Mortal Kombat, you just had Mortal Kombat, right? That was it. So, because of that, they didn't really get the kind of attention. Like, Street Fighter would always have 3 cabinets in an arcade because there's 3 different Street Fighter games. While Mortal Kombat usually only had 1, so you'd see 1 or 2 cabinets of the same game. And what would happen is the hype behind Mortal Kombat would start to dwindle and die because it was the same game, while Street Fighter almost every 6 months had a new game coming out. So, Mortal Kombat was hot in America, but I don't really feel like it ever got the prominence of Street Fighter, right? But some people still say to this day that for them, Mortal Kombat was the big fighting game franchise. So there you go. By the way, NDO 103 just dropped a 20-member bomb on the channel. Congratulations to the following people: Cheetah Man, Not Sure, Aussie Sly, 47 Adam, Blorgus, Soratome, Super Slade, Reefer Rick, Nemesis T-Type, Jex Gaming, Louie, Beast Bod, Aaron Tabor. Hold on. It jumped. Joshua, Siobhan, Toxic Cherry Juice, Austin Sam, Howard, Hold Mayo. Is that 20? I guess that's the 20. All right, and with that ginormous membership bomb by NDO, we have indeed... Well, I should double check this. But here, before I say this, okay, and end up shooting myself in the foot here, let's actually check, okay? Let's hope that I didn't lose even more this morning, and then I'm telling you guys something that's not true. So let's actually go over here to the members tab, and let's see how many we actually have on the channel. Yes, we have officially hit 505 members this morning. Thank you so much, NDO. So much. I really, really appreciate that. Very, very much. And, you know, thank you for the support. And anyone who just got a gifted membership, be sure to thank NDO for that. Obviously, you know, huge support of the community. Many of you now will have awesome memberships for that. Just think of all the awesome things going on in the next month, okay? MK1 Beta, finishing up all my anniversary events, the anniversary marathon next weekend, Armored Core, right? Starfield, the launch of Mortal Kombat 1. All of that is happening in the next month. That's a tremendous amount of stuff going on that you'll be able to enjoy as a member and use all those emotes and everything, right? So thanks so very much, NDO. Really, really appreciate that level of support, man. Thank you so much. By the way, the Liu Kang headband is strongly in the lead by 44%. I figured it would be. So I think we're just going to toss that on right now. Woo! Oh my god. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I just can't get over it. That's literally, I'm not kidding you, that's what the entire arcade sounded like back in the day. Whenever there was a Mortal Kombat game, that's all you would fucking hear. In the whole arcade, you would hear Liu Kang screaming across the whole arcade, resonated like echo, like a cave. It was wild. The old days of arcades were quite wild. They really were. Okay. I missed two. I missed Felix the Maid and Juan got one too. Oh, congrats to Felix the Maid and Juan for getting the gifted memberships. I did miss those. We'll see how well this headband stays on today, by the way. I haven't worn this in a while. I haven't worn this since, you know, the early days of Street Fighter 6. So, okay. So there you go. It'd be nice to get like a... The Liu Kang headband's nice in this one because I'm looking on the dashboard, the art. It's got all this drawing on it and stuff. It's pretty cool. Well, I don't have that. I just have this basic one. I'm basic Phil. Basic headband Phil. BHP. Basic headband Phil. Me. Okay. Should we do a poll for the vest? I don't know. We have to do a light vest today. We can't do a heavy vest because I'm wearing a nice shirt. You know, it's not like I'm wearing a t-shirt. Trying to think like what vest. Okay. Here we go. Jade says, to me, the first fight game I played... Oh, first fighting game you played was Tekken 2, MK3. Huh. Tekken 2 is so good. Yeah, Tekken 2 is a sick, crazy good game. So, which vest is MK1 best? Only the lighter one. So what are the lighter ones? The camo, the gold, right? The gray, or the denim. There you go. Because we have to wear a lighter vest if I'm going to be wearing this kind of shirt. There we go. By the way, once it gets cooler in the fall, I mean more, you know, more apt to be wearing heavier vests and stuff. Right now, it's like, dude, we just got out of a heat wave. I'm not going to be wearing a giant puffer vest that's going to make me sweat like a pig in here. No, I'm not doing that. Okay. Derek says Sub-Zero, Kenshi, Kitana, Liu Kang, Johnny Cage, and Li Mei are the 6 characters in the beta. And then there's Frost, Sonya, Kano, and Jax as the cameos. Okay, interesting. All right. Also, let's see here. Whoops. Crap, what did I click? I just got a $1 tip. Someone says Liu Kang's foot sweat. Mortal Kombat hype. Can't wait to see you play. Wow, Liu Kang's foot sweat. That's disgusting. Then again, most fighters probably have really bad foot sweat. Why wouldn't they? When you're in the heat of battle, you know, you're sweating profusely, right? There you go. Scorpion's ball sweat. What? Sub-Zero but not Scorpion? That's kind of weird. Sub-Zero but not Scorpion in the beta? Isn't that a little weird? I think that's a little weird. You would think they would have both, right? Abdullah says, let us know if it plays like Injustice or if it plays like an MK game. We'll see. I mean, you know, MK11 definitely added in elements that made it feel more like Injustice and Street Fighter hybrid. It had wake-ups, which it never had in Mortal Kombat before. It had, what was the other thing? Was it like alpha counters? Like you block, you could bust out with a counter. So those are things that were never present in previous Mortal Kombats, and they dramatically changed the way the game was played. But, you know, again, I didn't really play Mortal Kombat 9, 10. I would say I played 9 a lot. I actually got most of the DLC characters for 9. But 10 and 11, I really cut back. I didn't play them that much. I thought they were all right, but I wasn't really into fighting games that much at the time. I was covering them through the stories, the crypt, a little bit of online play, but I didn't get like that many of the DLCs or anything for those, right? So, okay. All right, guys, we've got a little bit more time to chat before we jump in. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, let me know. Tag me in the chat as you vote on a vet. People are voting for denim vest. Cool. Derek says, out of a topic, 25 years of Edge, favorite Edge match. Mine is the TLC matches. Wrestling again, Derek. Wrestling again, Derek. Derek, can I be honest with you? I'm really not into wrestling that much anymore. Really, I'm not. I've kind of, I'm not trying to be insulting to you, so please don't take it that way. But there's a certain group of people who keep bringing up pro wrestling on my streams, and I keep trying to explain to you guys, I'm not into pro wrestling that much anymore. I barely know much about it. Like, for example, you're probably going to bring up that Edge is probably retiring, right? Like, I know this because of the social media feed, but I haven't seen a single one of Edge's matches since he returned from retirement like 3.5 years ago. So it's like, I can't really add anything to the discussion because I'm not into pro wrestling. I have to really emphasize, I'm not into pro wrestling anymore, okay? Guys, I'm not into pro wrestling anymore, okay? Guys, hold on a second here. Is DSP Phil Burnell into pro wrestling anymore? No, I'm not into pro wrestling anymore. I can't really add anything to pro wrestling. I have nothing really to say about pro wrestling. I can't really say much about it. Edge, my favorite match of Edge, I don't remember. Really, like Edge, I watched him during the 2000s when he was doing matches again, you know. Remember, he was wrestling Randy Orton, then he became a teammate with Randy Orton, Team RKO back then, and stuff like that. I don't remember. I really don't. I'm just being honest. Like, it's not really a prominent thing in my memory. What happens is, here's how my mind works. I don't know how other people's minds work. This is how mine works, okay? When I'm heavily into something, I focus on it. I remember a lot about it, right? So there was a long time. You know, those years when I was doing the wrestling commentary show, Smart Guys and stuff like that, and I was heavily into pro wrestling. I had like a wealth of knowledge in my head because I'd been watching pro wrestling for like 10 straight years, correct? So I knew a lot about it. But then what happened was, over the last 5 years, honestly, it's probably around 2017, 2018, I really stopped caring about pro wrestling. I stopped actively watching it in 2020. So that was over 3.5 years ago. I haven't really watched wrestling at all since then. I do still have a few of those feeds in my like Twitter feed, so I know if something major happens because I see it blow up in my feed or whatever. But for me, like, I just don't care or follow anymore. So here's what happens. If I don't really care anymore, my mind starts to forget on purpose. What's happening is my brain's, we want to remove that knowledge that I really don't need anymore. I don't really care about pro wrestling, so I'm not going to remember about Edge's matches. I probably don't remember about Triple H's matches. I don't know, John Cena matches. I don't remember it anyway. It's just like, it's being freed up. It's creating more space for other important things I need to know. It's like a hard drive that needs to be, like, you know, worked on every once in a while and reformatted, right? So for me, when you ask me questions about pro wrestling, my brain's like, oh, not again. Don't make me go back to that area. You don't care about pro wrestling. Why you think about pro wrestling? Don't care about pro wrestling, right? And I agree. I mean, take a look at this year. I didn't even buy the latest WWE game, right? I didn't care. You know, I did a few fantasy matches. Those were fun. And probably we'll do some more, like, coming up. We'll probably do a fantasy match for Halloween like we usually do. A bunch of horror characters and stuff against each other, which is always fun to do. But that's a lot different than, like, caring about pro wrestling and knowing all about it. You know what I mean? Like, so for me, I don't know. You asked me, what's my favorite Edge match? I have no clue. I don't remember Edge matches because I'm not thinking about pro wrestling actively. It's not really something I care about, all right? So, again, this is not just me. I'm not trying to pick on Derek here. I'm just trying to say in general, things aren't, like, absolute. And there's some people who seem to think, like, because at one point I was a fan of pro wrestling, I talked about it a lot. It was many, many years ago. And it's been many years since I cared. I don't care, okay? Thank you for understanding. Plead the fifth. Maybe I should. If someone asked me a pro wrestling question, maybe I should say, I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. I have nothing to say about pro wrestling. I just, you know. Maybe that's what I should do. Okay. All right. Guys, I got so much to shout out here. You guys are being so cool today. I got a $10 super chat from Brandon. He said, what's your opinion on gaming releases for the upcoming next 3 months? It's insane. I'm looking forward to Armored Core 6, MK1, Alan Wake 2, Modern Warfare 3, and PSVR 2 game. It's nuts, as usual. We have a pretty standard, insanely packed, hardcore, busy gaming season. The fall gaming season this year will be incredibly busy. Yes, I'm going to have a challenging time trying to juggle the games. There's likely going to be games we have to skip and maybe go back and play at a future date, and that's okay as long as you guys understand that I can't play everything at launch. I just would never get through it all. But it's going to be a crazy good year for games for sure. So, excuse me. I received... Okay, is this the same? Is this the same person? Seriously, is this you, Corpin? They tipped $1 and asked the same question. All right, you ready? I'm gonna answer it just to get it out of the way, so I never have to address this again. Here you go. If I send in a video for a react show, how is watching a minute of the video saying a single sentence and skipping the video meaningful? Because there's no guarantee that anything I watch on a react show will pique my interest, nor be interesting to the audience, nor we're going to watch it for any extended period of time whatsoever. That's the nature of the show. Sometimes there'll be a clip that's incredibly interesting and we watch it for 10, 15 minutes. Sometimes there's a clip that I just don't give two shits about and we'll skip. There's no guarantees of anything. So what's your complaint? This is like, you know... Right? Like you're asking for something that isn't guaranteed. Do you understand that? So if you're not guaranteed it and you complain you didn't get it, that's your fault, not mine. I don't even know what else to say. Like, it's common sense, but like people said, some people just don't have common sense. And it seems like you don't have any. Like, already twice I've kind of explained to you that this is not an issue. I don't know what you're talking about. And now you're going to tip again to try to bring it up again. And I still have nothing else to add. Nobody cares but you. Yeah. No one cares about this topic but you. I just received a $5 tip. From Guitar Player. He says, I see you limit the submissions for your retrospective event to 2 videos, but I have a lot more than 2 videos I want to submit. Save them. And what I want to do is near the end of this week, all right, I'm going to see how many submissions we actually have. So probably I would say if you can remind me around Tuesday, all right, I will look at how many submissions we have from both members and non-members. If we have a ton and it looks like it's more than enough to go through for the marathon, then we're good. But if I look and I'm like, oh, no, we could definitely use some more, then I might say, all right, guys, it's kind of like, you know, open season. Go ahead and post whatever you want. I just want to have everyone have an equal opportunity to start. You see what I'm saying? If I said, hey, guys, unlimited, you could have, you know what's going to happen. You're going to have 1 or 2 people go and post like 100 videos. And now that's not fair. Not everyone wants to just watch the things that one person nominated. So, I mean, we've learned how this works well for DSP versus the internet, right? Because we have a variety of people nominating stuff every week, that show ends up being much better when we have the variety of clips nominated, not just the same one person nominating the same kind of clips every week. So let's let it stay as it is now. Remind me later in the week. I'd be more than happy to say, like I said, like Tuesday night-ish. I'll take a look. We'll see how many we've got in the thread. If it doesn't look like we have enough, maybe I'll say, all right, guys, you know, Wednesday to Friday, go crazy and you know, submit. But we're not going to do that yet. Let's wait and see, okay? I appreciate your effort to want to nominate more because Guitar Player, you've been a very long-standing fan, long-running fan and viewer. You probably have, you know, better memory than most of the better moments. You probably want to submit them, and I totally appreciate that. So we'll see what happens. By the way, people are saying, yeah, it's true. We have hit 100 likes. So why not just do something silly this morning? And why not do a celebratory bubble gun blow? Celebratory bubble gun blow for those likes. Thank you for liking the stream. We have not even played the game yet, and we have 130 likes. If we get more likes, yes, I will blow more bubbles later in the stream. But I felt it was appropriate to do a bubble gun blast today. So I hope that you guys liked that. Very nice. Okay. Cool. All right. Would I be interested in reacting to the DSP drinking game while playing the DSP drinking game? Sure. Why not? I'll be drunk and dead though. Yes, Juan, you got a membership. Congratulations. Shout out to Poolish. Poolish just did a super chat. Sorry if this is already answered. Will you play Starfield September 1st or 6th? Okay. So here's the deal with Starfield. Because already people are starting to ask this question. It's a valid question. I'd like to answer it to the best of my ability. But first, I need to go grab a tissue because the bubbles exploded on the table in front of me. I need to clean it up a little bit because it's going to be pretty nasty. So hold on. Okay. So, Starfield releases on September 6th. Okay? If you pre-buy Starfield, and I believe, I want to say, is it not the premium edition? I don't know if it's the standard or the premium, but I know if you get one of the paid editions of Starfield, okay, you get it early, you get to play it as early as September 1st, right? However, Starfield is a Game Pass game. So what that means is if you're a Game Pass subscriber, you get it essentially as part of Game Pass. You don't have to pay for it, right? So if you want early access, you have to pay. Now, I looked into it. I did look into this. Hold on, let me get rid of this tissue now. I looked into it, and here's how it works, okay? If you are a Game Pass member and you still want to play it early, you can for a discounted price. You do not have to pay the full purchase price of Starfield if you want to play it early and you're a Game Pass member. They discounted it down to like, I want to say it's like $30-some. It's like 35 or something like that. So it's not 60 or 70, it's 35. And then you get access to the game a few days early, and I believe you also get like the digital art book, the digital soundtrack, you know, shit so no one uses. No one ever does anything with that. That's what they try to justify the extra money, okay? But in reality, you're paying $30+ to play the game 5 days early. That's essentially what you're doing, okay? Now, here's the deal. Oh, by the way, Shug says it will also come with the first DLC pack when it releases, so that's really the added value as well. Okay, thank you for telling me that, Shug. I didn't realize that. Fair enough, I want to cover that fairly. Thank you for telling me that. Okay, so here's the deal. Here's what's going on with me, all right? What's going on with me is, number one, we're playing GTA 5 Anniversary Run. We currently just hit 40 out of 69 completed story missions. Okay? So we are just under, excuse me, 2/3 through the game. If you look at the length of my playthrough right now, it's 23 hours long. So if you're estimating, oh, excuse me, it's 26 hours long. I was actually 3 hours short. If you're estimating, you'd probably say, okay, it probably means that playthrough is going to end up being around just under 40 hours. Yeah, it's probably going to be under 40 hours. So if you do the math in your head of how many more streams I need to beat that game, all right, it needs about 4 to 5 streams. I'm doing 2 streams this week, okay? Next week, we got special anniversary stuff, and you guys also want me to play Armored Core, right? So here's the deal. You want me to finish GTA 5. You want me to play Armored Core. You want me to play the MK1 beta this weekend. But you want me to continue to play Street Fighter 6. But you also want me to play Starfield. All right? Sadly, this is not really based in reality. There's absolutely no way that I could be playing all of these games in any kind of a meaningful fashion. It's just not going to happen. You're talking about if I'm playing 5, 6, 7 games at once, I'm playing them once a week. All right? So the way that we've got it set up right now, Mortal Kombat today and tomorrow, right? Focus on GTA 5 this week, Street Fighter at night. Next week, Armored Core balanced with GTA 5, the anniversary event on the weekend, and then Street Fighter and Chrono Trigger at night. Okay? Then, early September, focus on finishing GTA 5 and balancing that with Armored Core, right? And then on nights again, Street Fighter and Chrono Trigger till we finish Chrono Trigger. Then on the 6th, start with Starfield, and Starfield becomes the major focus starting September 6th, right? And then balance that with Armored Core, and or if you guys wanted to see some more daytime streams of Street Fighter, that would be the time to do it, right? And then continue from there. Now, later on in the month, we got Lies of P, Mortal Kombat 1, and all of that, all right? The only way, the absolute only way for me to actually play Starfield early would be for me to either completely drop GTA 5 and never finish it, which I'm fairly certain people don't want, considering I'm 26 hours into it, or to basically not play Armored Core, which again, people don't want. They want Armored Core. People are asking me to play this game, right? So I don't know what to tell you guys. There's too much going on in a short period of time. I can't do all of it, right? I can't. And I'm sorry. I wish, again, I could clone myself. I wish that there was enough of me to go around that I could do two simultaneous streams at the same time every day playing these games, right? It's just not possible. So I have to do what's realistic, and I have to do what's feasible, and I don't see how I could possibly start playing Starfield on September 1st when I still have other lingering games, right? Now, here is the thing. We're playing Armored Core this Friday the 25th, and I've already guaranteed I'm going to play at least another stream that coming week before September hits, right? What if we play Armored Core once or twice and just don't really like it? I don't like it. You don't like it. It's not working for the streams, right? Then we've got some potential. In which case, okay, I'm not playing Armored Core right now. It's not a big deal. If I were to pay that extra money and get StarCraft, wow, and get Starfield early and play Starfield those 5 days early, right? So, yeah, I mean, I could see the potential there, right? But I'm telling you right now, if I am going to be playing Armored Core as a playthrough, I don't see how on earth I'm doing that and GTA and Starfield early. It's just not going to happen, right? So, it might be decision time. Maybe this coming Friday, a week from, well, actually this coming Friday, it's Saturday now. Oops. So this coming Friday, we play Armored Core together. We see what it is. I mean, we divvy out one more stream. Within those 2 streams, we decide what's more important, playing Armored Core or doing Starfield early. And then we kind of, we figure it out, right? Fair enough? That's what I'm thinking. Anyway, I don't know what else to tell you. If you have ideas, a better way for me to handle this, you know, but again, having limited time essentially makes it hard for me to please everyone. I would love to please you all and give you all what you want, but you don't all want the same thing either. When I told you guys I might not even play Armored Core, people freaked out. Someone donated it, right? Oh, okay. So I'll at least try it. And people are like, no, you got to play it. You're going to love it. We're going to love watching you play it. Okay. Sounds good. And I'm going to do it. Oh, you're going to play Starfield early, right? Wait, what? How? I'm playing Armored Core now. No, we want Starfield early now. Wait, what? Yeah, you can't win. Everyone wants something different, right? BattleDuck says, I guarantee I will not attend your Starfield streams before I play it myself. That's a factor, right? I get it. So, by the way, Gold Vest has won the poll for today. So let's get that Gold Vest out and going here. Of course. Doctor says, don't people want Baldur's Gate 3? Of course. That's what I mean. Everyone wants me to play everything. It's not possible. It's not feasible. We gotta realistically, especially with this busy gaming season coming up, we absolutely have to focus on reality and what's feasible and best for everyone. Don't commit to a game that's going to take me 5 months to beat. I'm never going to get through it during this busy gaming season. That's crazy. There's no way. If I started playing Baldur's Gate 3, all it would have done was disappoint people. So it's a good thing I just not play it rather than start playing it and disappoint a bunch of people, right? And there's the better choice. Okay. Now, this is just the ensemble. Now I definitely look like Liu Kang. I'm golden glowing like a god, and I'm wearing his head. Now I look just like Liu Kang for today's premiere stream of Mortal Kombat 1. This is perfect, actually. You guys have really voted in the right things today. This is amazing. Street Fighter 6 Blanca, no, there is no ultra member priority for the marathon. That's not how it works. Exactly. Derek says, whenever you play a game, there's always some people who are going to be upset. It's hard to please everyone. The saying goes as follows. You can please some of the people all of the time, but you can't please all of the people all of the time. It's just not possible, right? Actually, the full saying is you can please some of the people all the time, all the people some of the time, but you can't please all the people all the time. That's the full saying. There's no way. There's always going to be people who have differing opinions, different some people care a lot about MK1. Some people couldn't give 2 shits and want me to play something else and are mad that I'm playing this today, right? Some people really want Armored Core. Some people are like, screw Armored Core, play Starfield. And I can't please everyone. That is the double-edged sword of being a variety streamer like me, is that I can't please everyone because everyone wants something different. But because I'm a variety streamer, I will always have something to do. I will never be out of material or be bored. There's always something going on. That's the cool thing. I don't have to worry about, oh no, it's a slow drama day. There's no one to make fun of today, so I have nothing to do. So I sit around doing nothing, and all my audience says I'm boring. Because I am, because all I'm doing is I'm a drama streamer, right? I'm glad I'm not like that. I'm glad that we put out fun, positive stuff about games, right? So there you go. Yeah, the thing is, Third Nostril says maybe keep Baldur's Gate 3 up your sleeve. Here's the thing about Baldur's Gate 3. It's going to be on PlayStation soon, right? Isn't it coming out in September on PlayStation or something like that? It's going to eventually be on console regardless. So, at one point, moving forward, if we're looking for a lengthy RPG, there's dead time, we have time to do it, then we can maybe do it in the future. I knew there was no way it was going to work in my schedule now. There was no possible, feasible way it was going to fit into everything we were doing. I look like Randy from South Park. I need a guitar. There you go. Sweet. That's what I was going for. How did you know? September 6th on PS5? Ah, okay. So it is. I knew it was coming out. Battleduck says Baldur's Gate 3 is a great game, but I can't imagine it being captivating to watch on a stream. Again, I don't know. Right? I want to put you versus Gunder clip as favorite moments. Is the music copyrighted? What clip? If you mean from the playthrough, no. If you mean someone made a clip with edited music in that's licensed music, probably yes. Like I said, you should only be nominating moments for this marathon that are my content, not someone else who fucking did some kind of a detractor video or a montage with other music and stuff. It has to be my raw stuff. If it's not, there's no guarantee that it's even all right. Honestly, even then it's not even guaranteed because a lot of games have licensed music and even that screws it up. So, you know, you gotta kind of play the safe card here. Are there year limits for the submissions? No. Keep in mind, I'm going to review all the submissions. Just like I do with DSP versus the Internet, I'll review the submissions before the marathon. I'm going to make a playlist of what's appropriate. If I find something that has licensed music, I can't use it. If I find something that I think is inappropriate, I can't use it. You know, it's not going to be a big deal. It's not a huge deal. Thanks for telling me I should do voice acting. I'll remember that. I don't know how I'm going to do it, but by the way, holy shit. Guys, it's 12:52. This podcast has gone on long. I didn't even realize. Time flies, man. It really does. Time flies. All right, guys, we got to end the show. I want to play Mortal Kombat 1. So, thanks for being a great audience. Let's end this podcast. Thank you all for watching. Tomorrow on the show, I will give you my overall first impressions on the Mortal Kombat 1 beta. Hopefully, they're good. We'll see how it goes all the way today. You know, I'll have around 5 hours of gameplay in by the end of today's streams. And I can't wait to share all that knowledge with you tomorrow. Thank you all for watching the Level 1 podcast, and I will see you soon.